What's happening, you all? You know who it is? The CoWaCo, the company water cooler. And we back again. We about to get it in. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We're not financial advisors, but this is for educational purposes only. And our first point for today is what you're going to do whenever the market is in turmoil. Chris, what you got to say?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. I am Chris, that is Leroy. This is the company Water Cooler. We appreciate you for being here. So the first point about what to do when the market is in turmoil, how to provide yourself an escape. We'll put that in quotes, right? Because you're never leaving the market. You're just diverting, right? So some of your resources are going to be heavy over here one day, and then maybe a year or two later, they're going to be heavy over here, right? So you're never going to pull out of the market. You're never going to not have money in the market because those are assets. And one thing that assets will always do, good assets will always do, is provide value. They will provide resources for people. So what you want to do to provide that escape for yourself, diversification is one way, right? Because you don't want to just be in one sector of the market too heavy, right? You don't want to just, you don't want to be overweighted in one, right? To provide yourself with that escape, you want to be spread out across all sectors, or at least in the majority of sectors, right? So you may never be in the material sector, but it's at least worth looking at and worth knowing where you could get in. But it's 11 sectors, right? So as long as you're in 6 or 7 of those sectors, you'll be fine. Everybody's going to be in tech. Everybody's going to be in consumer staples. Everybody's going to be in consumer discretionary. Everybody's going to be in healthcare, right? So those 4 for sure you're going to be in. Industrials, you should definitely be in. Like I said, materials might be something that a lot of people, but the point is you have 11 to choose from. Be in the majority, if not all, of those sectors. You should be minimum 6. You should be invested in minimum 6. That doesn't mean go out again, like we mentioned before, and create your own ETF. Don't do that. You got smart men and women that have already done that. Just put your money behind them and watch it grow. But what that does mean is if you're interested in individual stocks in those sectors, okay, cool. You go over there and you put money in, and you hear it all the time from great investors. You hear it all the time from others on YouTube. You hear it all the time from anybody talking to you about investing. You want to pick the top 1, 2 companies. There's no need to invest in a sector that you're not interested in, or a sector that you don't see performing as well as another sector, but still good, pardon me, and investing in the 10th or 11th company in that sector. You know what I mean? Like, you want the top player in that because that's the best performing company in that sector. So you want to put your money behind a company that's going to increase the value of your investment. So if you're having, this is how you provide yourself that escape. This is how in times of turmoil, because there's opportunity everywhere, right? You hear it all the time. There's an opportunity everywhere. It's always in a bad market, in a good market, in a flat market, there's an opportunity somewhere. So if something is not performing so well over here, you can look over there to see what's performing well over there. I think real estate right now is actually still doing pretty well. The rates keep going up. Obviously, that's going to fall greatly. And but if you're looking for income, obviously you go there to real estate. And real estate is one of those things, it's a tangible asset. So you can either go purchase real estate yourself, or you can put your money in the market in companies that work in real estate, have billions of dollars behind commercial property and rental property, but that's just one example, right? So maybe your tech side of your portfolio was not performing so well. Okay, well, what's the real estate side doing? What is the REIT side doing, right? And you can begin to either offset some of that, because there are still plenty of gains from technology that can be moved to industrial, that can be moved to real estate, right? So, the Amazon and Tesla and Apple and Microsoft, all of these companies have had tremendous runs, right? At some point, you took some profit in that, had some money sitting on the side, waiting to invest. Now is your opportunity, right? I'm not saying take the profits from tech and put it in an industry that's doing just as well as tech or outperforming tech right now, and you pay a premium, right? You're paying a higher price. But take some of those profits, look for those good entries, and get in those companies. So that's how you provide that escape. Constantly keeping your head on a swivel. That's how you provide yourself with that escape. Don't just say, okay, I'm gonna put my money here, 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 and that's it. I'm not even gonna look at it. You could do that, and that'll work for you in the long run. If you have 100% of your portfolio in technology, and you're patient, and you expect 14 years down the line that portfolio to look immaculate, that's fine. That's great. But if you're looking for income, or if you're looking for constant growth, if you're looking for, always being in the green, then you have to, okay, well, what's going on over here? What's going on over there? What's going on over there? Right? When you set it over here in one industry, and that industry, it's gonna grow over 10 years. So if you can just put $100 a week, $50 a week, right? $100 a month, $500 a month, whatever you can afford, you put it in there, and you're okay with it growing for 10 years, then yeah, set it and forget it. But if you're looking for returns after 6 months, returns after a year, then you're going to have to start doing more research, diving into more companies. Now, you're not a hedge fund, right? So you don't have to make, you don't run a $500 billion hedge fund that you have to make money for wealthy individuals every week or every month, right? They're not looking to you to say, hey, I gave you $25 million. It's the 30th. What are we looking like? So you don't have to, because this is long term. That's what this channel is for. This is long term, 10, 15, 20 years. Comfortability, okay, great. Still young enough to do your thing, travel, still got young kids, still able to see the world, and still able to get outside and enjoy yourself. And now you own all of your time. Those guys, the hedge funds, those guys have to make someone who gave them $50 million. Hey, I gave you that $50 million 30 days ago. I need, 50,000, or I need 100, I need some return on that. The ROI, the return on investment, right? It's quick. Now, I didn't give you all of my $50 million. I gave you a portion of it, but I still need you to make that money back for me. So that's how you provide that escape. You diversify, you check with the other sectors of the market, and being a business owner, right? Having business ownership is going to provide you that, because you may provide a service in your neighborhood or your community that the big guys can't provide, right? Or everybody's not comfortable providing that. So when I say diversification, not just in the market, but income in general, find some passive income ways, find some, some non-active, hey, I can just put my money here and it'll bring me that return. So that way you constantly have that cash flow.
That's what's up. All right. Really good point, man. Really good point. All right. So the second thing we're going to talk about is creating a share/joint portfolio. Chris, what's your advice, my man?
So this right here, so mergers. I want to talk about mergers in this second point, because in times of financial hardship, when money is tight and money is expensive, you see a lot, and there was plenty of experts that mentioned this a couple years ago. When you have economic recessions, because there was it was a 10-year plus bull run, and money was just being made. Money was just made. Money made. Assets was just growing, right? And then boom, 2019 happened. Everything shut down. We have to go inside, right? 2020 got to shut down, go inside. 21 shut down. Everybody, and we're just now opening back up to each other, really, right? We're just now getting comfortable again. We're shaking each other's hands, right? Black people have always done the fist bump. We always been, so y'all late, but we always been like, hey, how you doing, bro? But the world just started getting on it 30 years after we did it. But it is, when you're children. So we're just now getting comfortable going back outside without our mask on, just now getting comfortable participating in events. Somebody still has a heavy cough. We still, hey, man, because we don't want that fourth, fifth wave, whatever wave we are now. But in times of economic hardship, you look around at your allies, you look around at the various allegiance that you have, the various allies that you have, the allegiance that you have, and you say, okay, well, Leroy, I got a proposition. Times are crazy. People are spending less. I'm not making as much money. And I know you're not making as much money. Let's consolidate. I've got a $20 billion business. You have a $20 billion business. Let's combine that, pull our resources, work together. So hopefully we can grow to a $50 billion business together. Now, I might have an exit strategy for that. I might say, okay, I want to grow the net worth of my business from 20 to 25. And with Leroy's partnership, I know I can do that. And then boom, we're good. Thank you, Leroy. I appreciate you. He might have that same exit strategy. But I'm mostly in consolidation. That happens out of desperation, because I don't want to fail, because I don't want my business to go under, right? So I say, hey, Leroy, I want to partner with you. I want to bring my 20 billion business to your $20 billion business. Because, right, and I'm not telling him this, but we know internally, our business model might be flawed. We might not be running our business right. And Leroy has the answers. We don't want to fail. So we're going to consolidate either, really one or two reasons why you consolidate. You consolidate for fear of obsolescence, right? You consolidate for fear of deletion. Hey, if we don't do something, if we don't merge, if we don't allow ourselves to be acquiesced, if we don't allow ourselves to be bought, in 5 years, 10 years, we're out. We're number 4, we're number 5. So we just can't compete. The second reason that companies merge is to move up in the market. So we're the number 4 and 5 company, Leroy and I. We want to get to that number 1 spot, but I can't do it by myself and he can't do it by himself. But if we merge, we're automatically in 3rd place when we merge, because that's $40 billion coming together, right? Pause. That's $40 billion merging. The number 3 company is $30 billion. So by us merging at the 4th and 5th spot, we're at number 3 now, and number 3 moves to number 4. So we're that much closer to being number 1. So we move and we merge so that we can become that number 1 spot. So now we can have all the eyes on us. Now, okay, they are now the number 3 company combined. They merged management, they merged executive teams, they merged the labor force, the subordinates, everybody, right? They just moved to either one facility or the other, or they combined and bought a bigger facility so everybody can work inside of that space. Now they are the number 3. They're moving now to the number 1 spot, attempting to, so they may go to the number 2 and say, hey, let's merge. Now, oftentimes that doesn't happen because the number 1 and 2 are like, keeping with this analogy, the number 1 is $100 billion company and the number 2 is a $60 billion company. Leroy and I's merger is 40 billion. So we're still 20 billion away from the number 2 spot. That's a lot. So we wouldn't go to the number 2 slot and say, hey, let the 3 of us merge and we have equal. No. We would say, can you acquire us? Right? That would be their proposition. That would be the number 2's company to us. Hey, you're 40 billion, I'm 60 billion. Look, let me just buy you out. Give you a nice payoff, send you off into the wind, vacation for the rest of your life, enjoy your family, right? Because what does the number 2 company have to gain with a 50-50 merger between 2 companies that were valued at $20 billion at the 4th and 5th slot in this sector? Not a lot. So you have to be mindful and aware that those are the reasons why. But going to the original point of creating a shared portfolio, which ties into that analogy, it's always good to pool your resources. It's just always good to do that anyway. And it's always good to put the money that you have into a single pot and then divide that out later once that pot grows, right? Once that money grows, because you get a lot more done with 6 people than you do with 1 or 2, right? So money is tight. Money is okay. Ask yourself this question. Can I, from my family, can we pull together $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million? How long would it take for us to put $1,000 on the table, right? Some families is 10 minutes. Some families is 10 days. Some families is 10 months, right? Can we put $100,000 on the table? How quickly can we do that, right? And not just put it on the table to say, hey, we got $100,000 on the table, look at it. But to put the $100,000 on the table and say, okay, look, individually, we can't get cousin 1, cousin 2, cousin 550, nephew 1, nephew 2, nephew 550. We can't get that family member a brand new car to go to college, or we can't pay for college for nephew number 1 individually as a single 6-member family. But if I call my cousins and my wife call her cousins and my brothers call right? Well, obviously my brother's cousins are my cousins. But if we call all of the family, and now we've got 20 family members. Hey, cuz want to go to college. It's going to cost $30,000 a year. Cuz we can pay for this. The family can pool. Everybody here, we got 20. We can pull from this $30,000 to send you to college every year for 4 years. So we got to pull 120, but we can pull that 30 for this year, and then next year, because tuition is going to go up, we can pull the 31,000 or the 32,500 next year. Here's what we need from you, right? Because your education is paid for, bro. We got you. You good. You don't get to go slack off. You don't get to go. You got 20 family members here, 30,000. You said you're going for, okay. All right, good. You're going to be you're going to go neuroscience? All right, bet. We got you down for this. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to be checking on you every week. Now, that's a lot of pressure for 17, 18, 19-year-old young man going to college, right? The same pressure it is for an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old woman, right? Young lady. It's that same pressure, but you don't have a dime to worry about. So that's an investment for us, right? You will always need doctors, always. You will always need lawyers, right? You will always need builders, men and women that get dirty, right? You will always need trash collection. Nobody wants to touch their own trash, let alone take it somewhere and dump it, right? There's certain things you will always need. You will always need hydrologists and water scientists and experts. You will always need certain professions. Times are hard, money is tight. We got to pull our resources. And the reason that we pull our resources is so my family doesn't take such a huge hit, right? Because if the 6 of us have to come up with 30,000 to send you to college, man, and we got a mortgage and we got utilities and we have all of these other expenses, we can do it, but literally we're counting every single penny. And that's not to say that we pull resources from the family so we can trick off on all of our other money. No, that's not to say that. That's just to say, for your investment in this journey to college, or for your investment, the smarter option in this journey to this business building, us building this family business, you get this much back, you get that much, right? Because if you divide that 30,000 by the 20 family, everybody, you wouldn't require everyone to give their equal portion, right? To give an equal portion, right? If I can give 1,700, that's great. If you can give 25, that's great. But if, cuz over here can only give 600, that's still necessary. That's still $600 closer to the goal, right? And so we pool all of that, we do this and we do that. And then we can tally up the equity later. We can balance that later. But whenever you talking family, and whenever you talking money, and you have a good plan, a good strategy, and it's something like starting a business or sending a child to school to do something that's necessary in the world, right? Solving problems, answering questions. That investment, sort of take that with take that investment like you sort of write that one off. Don't look for, okay, here's my, this is my percentage, this. Okay, I need exactly 17. Sort of look at that as like an ongoing investment that you're making, because you're still going to contribute to that later on down the line. That's not something that you want to say, okay, I paid the 17%, I need 17% of the salary, or I need 17% of whatever was produced from that, right? I put in 17%, but that's cuz, so we good.
That's what's up. I want y'all to remember one thing important when he was saying this a minute ago. It's all about teamwork. When you got that teamwork, moving as a unit, you will actually scale up. It happens every single time.
In good times and bad.
Yep. So make sure you remember that. All right, our last thing is, you already know, favorites of the week. Y'all know?
Yeah. Hey, look, you go first, Leroy. That's you. You go ahead, because you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so my first one on the table is Pepsi. Let's get it, Pepsi. Yeah. So that's gonna be my first one. Pepsi are doing some amazing things on their side, where they keep actually increasing year after year. So definitely y'all want to make sure y'all go and check Pepsi out, where they're having a diversity of products that they actually have. And even in this time of turmoil, Pepsi is still moving up. So make sure y'all check them out. Matter of fact, they almost about to hit their 52-week high. That's crazy. And so, all right, so that's the first one. Second one, Microsoft. Microsoft is my second one. Hey, look, we got these holidays coming up, or the Christmas holidays coming up. And plus, Microsoft just actually acquired Activision, also too, one of the top game companies there was. People was playing the games all the time. So
Yeah.
that's about to go
Activision.
through.
Yeah, look, because AccuVision is the glasses thing, but I got you. That's the glass.
Oh no, hold
You
the
talking
wrong one, my
about
bad.
that's
It's,
prescription eyewear. Yeah, Activision. You talking about prescription eye care. Yeah,
no, no. Thank you for the correction. It's actually called hold on, let me get the name for you. It's called Act. Hold
yeah.
on.
Activision. Activision. TI. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Because AccuVision is ACCU, ACT. Yeah, Activision. Yeah. They're making
Okay.
they making eyewear, but they ain't getting them yet. Yeah.
That's my country slang there. Twang, what country twang. I appreciate that for the correction. All right, so that's why we're a team. So I can be, together helping each other out. My last one is 5 and below. 5 and below. I want you all to actually go and check them out. Look, they got so much stuff in their store that you can get for $5. It's crazy. People be on it like crazy. It's purchasing. Bam, bam. Go there and check them out, 5 and below. And I just gave y'all 3 different sectors just a minute ago. Pepsi
Yeah.
is a different sector. Microsoft is a different sector. 5 and below is a different sector. Go check them out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, that was good. So I'm gonna start with Walmart, obviously, because retail season, and that's like I said, that's gonna be to the end of the year. That doesn't mean at the end of the year that's not an investment that I'm gonna have. That just means I'm gonna mention it until the end of the year because we're still in the holiday season. Target is number 2 because they have a great hold on their customers. They have a great hold on the market, and you'll sacrifice that extra amount of money that you're paying to shop there instead of going to Walmart, right? Like you'll sacrifice that for the experience, the customer service, the products, right? The feeling, right? And then my number 3, I'm gonna go with Apple because they're having issues now with the supply chain, but they're gonna get it figured out, and they're at a great price right now, like a great buy right now. And it is still holiday season, so people are gonna go broke buying those new phones, getting upgrades on it. So they're still going to make their money. They're gonna release the same phone, but everybody's still gonna buy it. So, and I mean, and they're the biggest. They have a large, they are the biggest in many companies' portfolios. So without Apple, several hundred companies would go out of business because 80 to 90% of their business is done with Apple, right? So they have a lot of companies dependent on them. So Walmart, Target for the holiday season. I'm gonna go Apple for the phones because they should be doing something. They should come out with some kind of deal, like something soon should be happening with them. But I'm gonna go those 3 for my companies this week.
That's what's up. All right, you all. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. We out. Peace.
Deuces.